What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mood 24/7 podcast. Ladies, how y'all feeling?
Fellas, y'all all right?
We all right. We all right.
Ew! All right. You are so ugly. All right. So we would like to welcome y'all to the very first episode of Mood Swings 24/7. We are so excited to. You are so. Oh my gosh. We're so excited to be sharing this with you guys. So let's not waste time. Let's go ahead and get into it. So today's topic of the day, today's tea topic is
Drumroll, please. There we go.
open relationships. Today we are going to be talking about open relationships. Let's talk, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna say, hold on now.
Oh Lord, I hope I didn't got that wrong. So today we're going to be talking about open relationships, and we decided on this topic because of everything that's going on right now with August Alsina, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith. As I'm sure y'all have heard, Mr. Alsina said that he and Jada have had a little ting on the side. If you haven't seen the video, here it is.
Actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism. Mm-hmm. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
So what are y'all opinions on that? Like, what do y'all feel about?
Well, Jada and August.
I mean, Jada and August, open relationships, period. I mean,
okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about Jada and August first, but I'm gonna just talk about Jada in general. Now, we ain't finna sit here and act like we ain't know Will and Jada were swingers out here, right?
I disagree. I don't think Will and Jada are swingers. I think that Jada is a swinger, and Will loves Jada so much that he's just like, okay, well, if this is what you want to do, I mean,
hey, that can be true though, but we not gonna sit here and act like they don't play around because they relationship. I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no such thing as a too happy perfect couple, but it's like you could tell it's something going on in the mix.
I don't agree with that. I think people can just be genuinely happy with. What are you mad for? I think people can be genuinely happy, just them too. Like, I think that it's possible for Will and Jada to just be happy with themselves. But I feel like after watching like Red Table Talk and stuff like that, like I honestly don't even think that Jada likes Will. Like, to be very honest with you, like I don't even think she likes him. And so I think that's where the concept of the open relationship comes, because I feel like if you really like somebody, this is just my personal opinion, do you live your life? But if you really like somebody, why would you want to share that person sexually, intimately, emotionally? Why would you want to share that person, the intimate parts of a relationship with someone else? Because, honey, I'm gonna let you know now, somebody has to die. Like, if you try to talk about an open relationship with me and you have to die. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you just have to. So I just don't even understand the concept of an open relationship. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just me.
It ain't got worse these days. See, even though that's my girl, I blame SZA for The Weeknd.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I feel like no.
Don't
It's
do
a
that.
bop.
No,
Don't get me wrong. It's a bop.
No, okay, it's a bop, yes, but SZA's situation is a completely different thing.
Listen.
It's about her falling in love with the guy and then finding out he has other women, and then that's where she has the disconnect of trying to cut him off. It's not about her being a third wheel to the whole situation.
Mm-mm.
That's completely out. As far as it goes for this August July situation.
And I honestly, I feel like it's like, I love August Alsina. Don't get me wrong, I love that man.
Yes,
So fine.
wonderful.
But I low key feel like it's kind of dirty for him to come out and be like, "Oh, Will gave me his blessing." Like, that's really kind of dirty, because when somebody invites you to their home, like, if that was something private and intimate that y'all had discussed, why are you coming out telling people,
Yeah.
"Oh, Will gave me his blessing"? I feel like that's kind of dirty, because obviously that was something that Will and Jada didn't want the world to know, because they stated multiple times, "Oh, we have never had, a polygamous relationship or anything, open relationship, anything like that." So I feel like it was kind of dirty for August to just be like, "Oh yeah, well, Will gave me his blessing." Like,
well,
Yeah, it was real dirty because he took.
There's nothing too much that like it can really do. If he's speaking his truth, then that's true. If Will
No,
doesn't,
because I feel like
that's
at the end of the day, he
bad.
was dirty for that, because Will and Jada took him in when they heard about his situation. When he first got into the R&B game, he wasn't.
he wasn't
He was
nothing.
poor.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he was poor, and he was living on the streets, and he was trying to take care of his, two nieces.
Mhm.
And I just feel like, for Will and Jada and do what they did for him to try to pull this stunt, it's just wrong.
I don't think
It's
it's
real raggedy.
necessarily a stunt as far as it goes. Okay, number one, this is a great publicity thing. He just had an album drop, so his name is
That
in
is
the feed, and it's getting his album up. But
I
as
feel
far
like you
as
should
it
have
goes
chose something
for,
else instead of putting the people that you love in
That's what I'm
jeopardy.
saying. But exactly. At the end of the day, what kind of
but
person?
at the same time, I don't feel like that's what he was doing. I feel like he was telling his truth. I mean, hey, if they were together, they were together. That's kind of that's their thing.
See,
He's just telling his truth. I
and
don't feel necessarily like it was like he's betraying him. That's not what I
Uh-uh.
see it as. I
So
just see it
Keely.
as like,
Mm-mm.
hey, this is
So
what happened, and I love her.
you got that stuff.
Keely, so for instance, so say me and Christina and you join in. So you gonna
Oh,
go.
baby, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not happening. I don't do a third
So
wheel for nothing. Nobody, nowhere, no time. So, I mean, as far as
Hypothetically, I'm on my
I
life,
get what
my
you're
life
saying,
journey.
but I'm just
Hypothetically,
saying that's just me. I don't. It's not.
I wouldn't either. That's definitely not something. I mean, y'all just heard me say somebody gotta die if somebody touches my man.
period.
He's not here yet, but when he comes, honey girl. So I would never. I'm sorry, it's just dirty. Like that's like I honestly, that's like me telling Jordan a secret and Jordan telling you, like, in an interview, just so that his business can get some more clout. Like that's dirty. Like that's using the people who love you the most to get clout. Like
It's
it's
sorry,
real
it's showing
dirty.
that you're desperate a little bit.
That's because let's be honest. When was the last time August had a hit on
But
the
he's been
chart?
sick, so you can't necessarily say that because he hasn't hit. But he's been sick. I mean,
I said when was the last time?
I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time. I am not saying that. I think he's a good artist. I do think that. I think he's truly talented. But he's been sick. That's a huge reason, and that he's been taking care of.
And that's understandable.
So there's that. That's probably why he hasn't been put
And
down.
like I said, that's where Will and Jada come in, because
exactly.
they also came in and helped with that too.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, there's no reason to put somebody intimate stuff like that. I can understand if you have an open relationship. Everybody knows y'all have an open relationship. Y'all are clear with the fact, okay, this is what we do. We have an open relationship. We are swingers. We swing left, right, up, down, round and round. Like if that's what it is, then that's fine. But if it's something that you have behind closed doors, like if I were to ever have a threesome, like why would I want the world? Like,
that's not funny. I can let you know that now. I don't
oh,
that's
baby, I never said it was.
no, I was just saying for me, as far as it goes, that's a no.
You
Exactly.
look
No,
like that kind of girl.
So listen. So you said for you it's a no, right? You said for you it's a no. So let's say, for instance, that you did decide to do it, but you didn't want anybody to know because you've already said that you would never do it. Would you want the person who you did it with to go out and say that they did it just for clout?
My thing is, as far as it goes, for if, then
But
I
just
doubt that
if
this would ever
you were
happen.
if it was in your
Hypothetically, no,
shoes,
I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to the point. My thing is, if that's what happened, then I have to own up to it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh no, I don't even have a clue what you're talking about. Like,
but
you know
that's
what I mean? I'm gonna own up to it. I'm like, if it comes out, that's
I'm
what I
not saying
did. I have to own up to it.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
saying if
disagreed
it
with
comes
it at
out.
one point, but this is where I am right now. That's what happened.
I'm not saying if it comes out. I mean, of course you're going to own up to it, but I'm saying, would you want that to happen? Like, would you want that? If you say this is going to be a secret, an agreement between us, would you want the person that you agreed with for it to be an agreement to be a secret? Would you want them to go out and do it? I'm not saying you wouldn't own up to it, but at the end of the day, would you want that? Just yes or no. Would you want it? Would you want it?
I feel like that's the thing.
Would you want it?
Ooh, look, the way
Would you want
the
it?
way Christina stepping on it, dang, you let up off her back.
No,
I mean,
because
like,
I'm a firm believer.
It's the point where when I have changed my mind, when that changed my mind, I don't care at that point anymore. If someone finds out, someone finds out. That's how I am as a person. That's how I
But
am as a
Keely,
person. Even
what
if
if your
they
man?
have disagreed, like let's say I said, ooh, strawberries are the worst fruit. Like that is the nastiest thing. Whoever eats strawberries, don't you eat strawberries? Like that's nasty. I'm dogging it. I go try strawberry again, and I end up liking it. I'm be like, yeah, I ate the strawberry. That's how I feel. Like that. There's my mind. It's changed. I may say like, oh, I mean, I didn't like the strawberry, but I ate it. So I mean,
I don't think you understand where I'm coming from.
that's just my thing. Like if it's out there, that's my truth. I'm gonna own up to it. If it's not my truth, I'm gonna be like, no, I didn't eat the strawberry, and that's that. That's EOD. End of discussion.
Well,
Keely, I got a question.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead, Christina.
No, go ahead, Miss Girl.
So Keely, what if you and your man was some years in and y'all just tired of the same old thing? And he wanna bring an extra person in. So what would you do?
You're funny. That's cute. No, really, that's actually quite hilarious because that's not happening.
I'm sorry, you look like that kind. You look like that kind of
It's not
girl.
happening. I don't roll that way. That's not my thing. Like honestly, I mean,
You don't roll that way.
that's
What
something
if it was?
you need to work on, and that's a huge reason why like you have to fall in love without that first, so that when a time like that comes in your marriage, you know how to work around it because you can already love each other without having to worry about that portion. That's just how I feel. Go ahead.
I do agree with that. Let me just interject. I do agree with that. I do believe that when you're falling in love, you should get to know someone like without the sexual part first because sex clouds things.
Mm-hmm.
However, baby girl, sex is a very important part of a married relationship. Sex is like there's God and then there's sex, point blank, period. So I'm not. I mean, I'm being honest.
You are.
Let's be honest. God created Eve. Listen. God created after He created Adam, gave him all his stuff to do. He created Eve. What's the first thing He said? Go multiply. Go be fruitful and multiply. So sex is very important. I'm not saying you should allow someone else into the bedroom.
Important, but I don't think it's
You just have to let me talk and say what I got to say.
It's not God than sex. That's how I feel. But
you said it's not what?
It's not God than sex. That's how I see it.
Keely, then what is it?
That's not what I said. Hold on. I didn't say that having a threesome was godly sex.
What?
However,
That's not what I said. I said, to me, I don't feel like it's God and then sex.
Then what you think it is?
So okay. So you believe that you can be in a relationship in a marriage
and not be sexually attracted to your partner?
I never said that. I believe.
But Keely, that's what she's saying, though.
I didn't say it came second. That's what I was saying. I don't think it's God than sex. I don't think it came second.
I'm saying if you can't be intimate physically with, that is sex is marriage. Let's just put it out there. Sex is marriage. When you have sex with someone, you are married to that person. So how is sex not at the very top of the list in a marriage relationship? Like take the whole open.
Here's the thing. 90% of your time in that marriage, you're not going to be having sex. And if you don't like it,
well, Keely, what you plan to do?
In a day, you're not going to be having
Stop
sex
yelling.
all the time.
Keely, stop
and there's going to be times during the week that you don't have sex. So you can't sit here and tell me that sex is second. I need your mental capacity to be on the same level as me. Hold on.
Nobody is saying that the mental capacity is not supposed to be on the same side. I'm not saying you're going to be having sex 24/7. But obviously there are going to be times. Obviously there are going to be times when you're not having sex every single day of the week. What I'm saying to you is that sex is important, and there's no way that sex is going to be all the way at the bottom. If your man is not having sex,
I understand it's at the bottom, but I don't think it's
order in the court.
It's not God that sex. I don't think it's second. I feel like there's other stuff that's a little bit more important on the same page than how I feel about you sexually.
Let's pause for a second. When I said God and then sex, that was really a joke. Obviously, I know that sex is not the most important thing, but it's definitely top. I would say top 5.
I agree wholeheartedly that sex is a very important part of a marriage. That's how a couple becomes one. They join their intimacy, like you were saying. I don't disagree that sex is not important in a relationship when it comes to marriage. I feel like that's huge, and that's why I think it's so important that you do it when you're married and when you're ready, because that's basically a lifetime commitment that you're making to someone. That's a piece of someone that they will always have of you, regardless if it was your first time or your 99th time. You know what I mean? So I was just saying that sex wasn't my second thing. It's not like I'm like, okay.
Then what is your second thing, Keely?
Wait, hold on. What does this guy possess? Oh, he fears God and he's good at sex. That's not what I'm looking for. That's what I was saying. It's not second to me. I have other things higher on the list than sex. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying that it's not important because I believe it is.
I feel like the list that you're talking about is the list that you should be worried about when you're dating, when you're in the getting the dating stage. I'm sorry, and this is
marriage commitment.
Keely, me and you are not going to get married, so we don't have to agree with the same thing. All I'm saying is that when I get married, I want a man who wants to have sex with me all the time. If you're not attracted to me, if you don't want to have sex with me, like what? That's one of the benefits of being married, is that you get to have sex all the time, whenever you want, in the bedroom, in the shower, on the couch, in public. I'm not saying that you're not saying it's not important, but what I'm saying is that I think you're not giving it the power. You're not giving sex the power it possesses, because sex is a very powerful thing. Sex can mend a marriage. Sex can literally mend a marriage at the end of the day. That's why I think it's so important that you don't bring other people into the bedroom, especially when you're married, because it's foolish. Like, what's that man's name? The sermon that we were talking about the other day? His name. Yeah, but I did go watch him, but I'm talking about the guest. I forgot the guest pastor's name. I have to put the link in the bio. But he was talking about how can you think that me introducing you to a different meal is going to enhance your appetite for me? So how can you think that bringing another person into the bedroom is a good for your marriage? But in the same token, how can you think that not having sex? Let's be honest, men are sexual creatures. 95% of the time, I promise you, a man is thinking about sex. I'm sorry. Jordan, make the face all you want. Men are thinking about sex. Men can see a bottle on the street and they are thinking about how to put their penis inside of it.
I wasn't disagreeing.
Men think about sex all the time. So when a man is married, that's how men, I'm not saying it's right, but that's how men go out and cheat, because women act like they don't hold sex at the same level that men do. That's how men go out and cheat, go out into whorehouses, go out to go do whatever they do. Yes, you need to pray. Yes, you need to get the bills. Yes, you need to make sure the kids are okay. But at the end of the day, if y'all are not having sex, but y'all are not connecting, y'all are not.
But I'm not saying that it's not that type of intimacy that we plan on having. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in the marriage, there's a lot that I hold to a standard within the marriage, okay? And it's not just sex. Yes, I know that's something that he thinks about all the time.
Well, Keely, can you explain what's your higher up?
Give us a couple of things.
I'm going to break that down. Okay, but that's not something that I plan on having. I mean, let me rephrase that. I said let me rephrase it. Calm down, fix the face. Okay, so
Okay, pause. Hold on, because we're about to run out of time. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We are going to continue this conversation on next week's episode. For more information on how to watch us, go to Mood 24/7 at Instagram. The link on how to watch all of our stuff is going to be in the link in the bio below. You can watch us on, you can listen on Apple, what's it called? iTunes,
Apple Podcast,
Apple Podcasts, on Himalaya. We'll have everything that you can watch us on. Girl, calm down. You have everything that you can watch us on. And yeah, we'll get back to this conversation next week. But for now,